Good evening. Welcome back to Hellhound's Late Night Spook Show here on the Horror and Metal channel. Figured I would do a quick movie review today. This could be another re-review of a video that I did a while back, and I'm going to redo it right now because I set that video to private and it wasn't too good. So I'm going to try to improve on it right now. So let's go and get started. Today we're going to be looking at the original Last House on the Left from 1972, directed by the great Wes Craven. This review will contain slight spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, maybe watch it first before you watch this video. Alright, so anyway, like I said, this is the directorial debut of the late horror master Wes Craven, and probably my third favorite movie of his, next to Hills Have Eyes and, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street. Basically, the plot is that two girls, Mary Collingwood, played by Sandra Castle, and her friend, run into a young junkie named Junior, who promises to hook them up with some marijuana. But it turns out there was actually a trap, as the two young friends get captured by Junior's evil father, Krug Stillo, played by David Hess. Also his friend Fred and girlfriend Sadie. All of them are just low-life maniacs who enjoy seeing people suffer. The four sadistic murderers then put the girls through hell, raping them and torturing them in the woods for several hours before eventually killing the poor girls. So hiding out from the authorities, I guess they were like on the run from the cops before, they stay at the house, they stay at a house, a Last House on the Left. I actually live on a Last House on the Left. How cool is that? They stay in a house, pretending to be traveling salesmen, but it turns out that this house belongs to the mother and father of Mary Collingwood, one of the girls who was murdered by Krug and his violent cohorts. Bad idea. The rest of the movie, like the last half, is basically the parents getting revenge on the homicidal scumbags and the predator becoming the prey. I love revenge movies where the table gets turned on the against the villains who are put through the same hell that their victims went through. That's just very satisfying and also sweet. Very, very brutal, very horrific movie. The main villain, Krug, played by David Hess, like I said, is brutal as hell. It is one of the nastiest horror characters ever. Hess plays him perfectly, and I think the actresses were genuinely scared of him on set. I think one of them even walked out at one point. He was very terrifying. Very bone-chilling performance. Very, very intimidating. He played a similar character in Ruggero Deodato's House on the Edge of the Park as well. Kind of an extension of his Krug character from this movie. Like I said, very horrific and disturbing movie. The rape scenes in particular are very hard to sit through, but it is quite satisfying when the villains get their just desserts, even though the movie does kind of make you feel sorry for the son, Junior, who is kind of forced to do these horrible things by his sadistic father, who kept him addicted to drugs as well. So he's kind of being manipulated. It's not really his fault. They kind of make him sympathetic, but there's kind of no hope for him, unfortunately. My only complaint about this movie are that the actors playing the vengeful parents aren't always believable. I think that some better acting could have definitely made it, way more satisfying than it already was. They're just not the best performers. And also there is way too much out of place comic relief that just really doesn't fit, like the two bumbling cops and the lady with her chickens. Not a good balance of shocking scenes and humor. It'd be a really horrific scene one minute, then it'll switch to something totally goofy and silly, and it just does not a good balance. Like, it just doesn't feel legit. It doesn't feel authentic. It's just kind of distracting. But other than that, overall, it's a very well shot, savage horror film. It's definitely not for the easily offended. I would rate it probably an 8 out of 10. It was Craven's first and still one of his best, in my opinion. Yeah, Last House on the Left from 1972. Check it out. And rest in peace, Wes Craven. Yeah, I definitely recommend this movie. Now, it was supposed to have a sequel. There's supposed to be a Last House on the Left Part 2, and I remember seeing some VHSs that advertised a sequel that was going to be made, but it never happened. However, we did get a remake in 2009. Now, this is actually a really good movie. It's one of the better remakes. I think it's really, really good. I really like the 2009 version. There's not as much silly comic relief this time. Much better acting from the parents. This is Monica Potter and Tony Goldwyn. They do a much better job than the parents in the original. Yeah, the actor playing Krug isn't nearly as scary as David Hess in the original. He's kind of just more of a smooth criminal, and this one is a little different. Yeah, I definitely don't think he was quite as menacing. But overall, it's a very, very good remake. It's not quite as brutal or shocking as the original, but it still has some pretty horrific scenes nonetheless. Yeah, there's still the whole rape and torture thing, and then I do like the parents getting revenge. The last half, I think, was done a lot better in this one. I do think the parents acting in the revenge aspect was done a little better. Overall, I do prefer the original, but this is a very good remake, which I definitely think you should check out because it does update a few things quite nicely. And some things flow a lot better. Though, like I said, David Hess was a much better Krug. And the original is more shocking, but, this one had better acting from the parents and kind of more satisfying second half, I think. Yeah, and in this one, Mary Collingwood that character is played by Sarah Paxton, and she actually survives in this one. She survives the brutal attack by Krug and his minions, and the son is done a little differently as well. But overall, yeah, pretty good remake. But all right, guys. Well, that's my review of the original Last House on the Left from 1972, directed by the great Wes Craven. Definitely check it out. You'll be glad you did. Alright, guys, well, as always, thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound. Until next time, later.